Hey, what is up guys? So I'm so excited for today's DIY video because I'm finally upgrading my shocks and struts to these new Bilstein ones. I've got the fronts and the rears. So for the past year and a half, I've just had the H&R Sport lowering springs on the car, and while they definitely made the car look cool and low and everything, I really feel like with the stock BMW shocks, it really didn't do the suspension any justice. So I'm so excited to get these new ones in. And huge thank you to my friends over at FCP for hooking me up with the parts for this video. So in case you haven't heard, FCP Euro is your #1 source for BMW and European car parts. They've got really knowledgeable customer support, fast shipping times, and of course everything is backed by their legendary lifetime replacement guarantee. So definitely check them out, fcpeuro.com. Their link will be down in the description. And yeah, let's get right into the install. One quick tip that I've learned from working on my car over the years is it's really helpful to have all of your tools lined up before you get started. There's a lot of tools involved with this job, and this is not the type of thing where you want to realize halfway through, oh crap, I need to run to AutoZone, but I can't because half my car is taken apart. So just little things like this. This is an E12 Torx, and this is not like an everyday household tool that a lot of people have laying around. So I'm going to leave a complete list down in the description, a checklist of tools that you need for this. That way you have everything before you even get started. So yeah. Jack up the car and support it with jack stands. All of the carpeting in the trunk needs to come out. This plastic piece is held on by a few fasteners and 2 Phillips screws. Free the top of the shock by holding it still with a 6mm socket and loosening the nut with a 16mm open-end wrench. The bottom is the same process. If the 6mm part is stripped, you can also hold the shock itself with a 17mm wrench. Alright, so I had a hard time with this because the tip of it was stripped a little bit. So what I did is I held on to this part here with a 15mm wrench, and then the other part was a 17, so I was just able to unscrew it that way. So keep that in mind. It's kind of a weird design because it looks like it's meant to be held in with an Allen wrench, but for some reason on the stock BMW ones, that Allen wrench part is like built into this. So it's really easy for these to get stripped, and mine was like really rusted out, and so that's why it was hard to remove, but we finally got it out. So yeah, let's start putting the new one in. Alright, so here's the new one and the old one, obviously, and I can tell you right away, this one is very easy to compress. You can see it takes a lot longer to come up, and then the new one takes a lot more force, and it goes up like immediately. Install the new shock and tighten everything up. Alright, so looking at the bottom of this shock, here's the bottom part right there. And what we had to do is you loosen up these E12 bolts, and that will allow you to kind of wiggle this bushing that's in here and get it lined up right. And then we're using a jack on the bottom of this whole suspension part here to lift it up, and that's pushing this through. So you want to jack it up a little bit. So you can see as he's jacking it up, you can see it coming through there, and then we can screw that bolt on and tighten it up. Alright, so take a look at this one that we just pulled out. This is one of the rears. Look at how bad that was. Onto the front. Unclip the brake line and the ABS sensor and push them both aside. Remove the strut pinch bolt. Hold the stabilizer link nut with a 16mm wrench and loosen the nut with a 17mm. Remove the 3 13mm nuts from the top of the strut mount. Slide the steering knuckle down. it will require some wiggling. Use spring compressors to relieve tension from the spring. Remove the rubber dust cap and unscrew the nut from the center shaft. Alright, so we got the new strut all assembled with the H&R spring on there, and it was kind of a pain in the butt to get on, but now we've got it and we're going to put it back in the car. Hand thread the top nuts, but don't tighten them yet. You'll need a little bit of play in order to align the strut and the steering knuckle. Use a jack to jack up the steering knuckle to seat the bottom of the strut. Tighten everything up and clip the brake line and ABS sensor back in place. Alright guys, well, it's been a long day. It's been a very cold day out here. I've got my little space heater going, but finally just completed this project. Got the front and the rear Bilstein shocks installed. Can't wait to get out on the road and see how they handle. So once again, big thank you to my friends over at FCP Euro.com for making this video possible. I'm just really appreciative of that. So thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.